Hey, we're in Salt Lake, and we are anticipating a very interesting night tonight. And holy crap, these buildings are huge in Salt Lake. Oh, hey! Welcome to the Backyard Professor videos. This is on the other end of the mall. And the mall goes way back there for like 3 blocks. Hey, we are at a joint called Brewvies. I keep wanting to call them brewskis, and they'll kill me if I do this. Anyway, a slow day at City Creek Mall, but this is it. This is what $1 billion will buy you. I have my good friend here with me, Steve Pynakker. Steve contacted me about, what, a month ago?
Oh, it's been longer than that. It's been, I think it was fall of last year, now that I think of it. Yeah.
See, that's the problem with getting old, is
right.
You don't know how fast time's going.
It doesn't go by fast.
It's not my fault, Steve, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know it's not your fault.
Thank you. He's being very gracious to me right now.
Wouldn't that be fun? I know. So we can use that picture as a preview.
And I watched the show, so I know you.
Yeah, all right, okay, cool. Sorry, just all kinds of stuff. So. Okay, here we go. Hey, welcome to the Backyard Professor videos. I have my good friend here with me, Steve Pynakker.
Pynakker. It's all right.
Pynakker. Boy, I'll tell you what. Hey, we are at a joint called Brewvies. I keep wanting to call them brewskis, and they'll kill me if I do that. So, anyway, we are here. I'll show you the official. Wall right there. Look at that. Who is that masked woman or masked man? We are going to unmask ourselves right here. Boy, I hope I don't set that up wrong. Steve contacted me about, okay, the camera's right.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
There, okay. I'm just trying to make sure I don't look in the wrong direction. Holy nightmare. Steve contacted me about, what, a month ago?
Oh, it's been longer than that. It's been, I think it was fall of last year, now that I think of it. Yeah.
See, that's the problem with getting old, is
right.
You don't know how fast time's going.
It doesn't go by fast.
It's not my fault, Steve, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know it's not your fault.
Thank you. He's being very gracious to me right now. Hey, we're in Salt Lake, and we are anticipating a very interesting night tonight. And he was kind enough to send me an invite to come and see this film made by a return missionary. And he's the actual award-winning film producer as well, isn't
Jeff
he?
Pingree,
Yeah.
and it's a documentary about his journey going back to Guatemala 25 years after he served a mission. He's since left the church, but he wants to come back and find out what happened to the people that I baptized into the church, which a lot of Exmos and even PBMs wonder, whatever happened to that person? Well, he's one of those few people who actually went and made that journey and then documents it in the film.
Oh, fantastic. So this film's going to be available?
It's available on Amazon to rent. That's the only streaming service that's currently available in the United States. It might be in other countries available. I believe it is available in other countries in different streaming services, so just check that out.
Yeah, all right, okay, cool. So I have been fortunate to be invited so that I can see the preview of the film, and I'm going to watch it with Steve and several other people. I pulled right up, and people automatically began saying, "Hey, Backyard Professor, welcome!" And I've never seen him before, so it's been a warm welcome so far. We're here a little bit early. So I just wanted to pull Steve in here. He does the Mormon Book Review YouTube site, and your site has been called the Switzerland
of Mormonism. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Switzerland. Okay, so how did you get such a cool comment on your site and they don't even know who I am yet?
Well, I'll tell you, it was Dr. Randy Bell of the Post Traumatic Thriving, who is also a podcast, who's also been a guest, of course, on Mormonism Live, Mormon Stories, and of course, Mormon Book Reviews. And he actually gave me the ride here. I'm staying at his condo in Park City. Cool dude. And he said, "You're the Switzerland of Mormonism." And this is, to me, the movie encapsulates that, because this is a story about a guy who's since left the church, right?
Yeah.
But he goes back to the mission and finds out that these people's, he admits in the film that his life is better, these people's lives are better off by being members of the church. And he even gives a testimony in the service, when he's asked to testify. He didn't mean to, he didn't want to, but they called on him, and he gave a very nuanced testimony. But it's a beautiful film because it's in many ways very faith promoting at the the time. And
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, so it's cool.
Okay, so
yeah,
hold
it's
on.
for TBMs as much as it is for
Hold
Postmos.
on. Just wait a minute. So, Pingree, Elder Pingree, returned 25 years later
Right.
to his mission.
Yep.
And they asked him, those who are still faithful to be baptized, they asked him just recently when he made the film to bear his testimony.
Well, in this,
and he bore his and
he bore a testimony,
they're
but
still friends.
yeah, and he told people, see, the guy who called upon him didn't know his whole story. He didn't know he had left the church, but he did.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he had talked to all these people that he had baptized into the church, and it was beautiful because these are beautiful people, and they have a beautiful story to tell, and they're like, and when he says, "I'm not a member anymore," I say, "Oh no, you're coming back. Don't worry, we love you." It's just really powerful when you see that in camera, because it's real. It's real, man. See, this is the thing. People need to understand. This was kind of a hobby for me because I was interested in Mormonism. People's lives are involved. This is real, man. And so my whole thing is to show love people, allow Christ to operate through me, because I'm an evangelical Christian who was an atheist for 12 years. Okay,
yeah,
so I know what it's like to be an atheist. I know what it's like to be somebody who's lost their faith. But I can also see the beauty in faith too. And this film shows you the beauty of a simple faith that these people exhibit.
That's interesting. So you mean to tell me when you went through a faith crisis,
Yep.
and you went the atheist route?
Yep.
That's what I did.
Uh-huh.
Now, I didn't do it for 12 years, but, just coming from Mormonism, all the other creeds are abominations. All of the other churches are wrong, and all. It doesn't leave you an option, really, for another, at least in your own psychology and mind, if you're born and raised, to go to any kind of other Christian denomination.
Right.
So I felt the only thing was atheism.
Yep.
I went and bought,
You went all in on atheism.
60 books or whatever, and read them all.
Yep.
You know what was interesting, Steve? I reread Dawkins. Everybody reads the Four Horsemen,
Right. I read them all.
But I've got news for you. They are not the best atheist authors to read. They're good. They're fun. They're popularizers. They're a little mouthy.
They're polemicists.
Sassy,
They're
like
also
me.
often polemicists. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
the
yeah.
word.
Yeah.
And so it was fun for a while to banty around their arguments,
Yeah,
right?
mhm.
I mean, I'm sure you did that
Oh,
too.
absolutely, man. I would have made a
You did that
kick-ass
against
atheist.
me, you were saying.
Oh, yeah. I'd be
How
watching the
could
TV
you?
as an atheist, and you're doing your apologetics, and throwing beer cans at the TV screen.
I bet you wish it would have went through the screen and knocked some sense into me. I did the same thing, but I got to the point to where I was sitting there one night, and I had just finished Dawkins again, and I'm thinking, it appears to me that what the atheists have accomplished and done is they have done very good at getting rid or refuting a lot of assumptions about the divine, about deity,
Absolutely.
about religion.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't prove there isn't a God.
Right. And then that's very true. And not only that, but I do think that I tell people atheism can have can be a form of therapy. You can have a theory.
yeah.
So I had Aaron Ra on my program. It's like one of the biggest atheists on YouTube.
And he's going to share him
and
with
eventually,
me.
I want to
will
get
too.
you on that. Yeah. But I went to Aaron. We did a pre-interview Zoom call a week before I did the interview. And I said, I just want to say something, Aaron. I'm a pro-atheist evangelical. You should have seen his eyes. He's cynical and stuff. He was like, what? All right. But I said, because you're doing the Lord's work, Aaron. You're doing the Lord's work because you're exposing the charlatans and the frauds and the wolves in sheep's clothing. In our camp, we should be doing it. The Lord's using you to do it for us because we're not doing it. So I look at atheists as being our friends. I also tell people atheism is merely a strain of Protestantism taken to its logical extreme. So I go to atheists and say, welcome to the fold, fellow Protestants. That's how I deal with atheists.
How fun? Yeah, but how much more fun is it to? I'm discovering, after Radio Free Mormon interviewed me and got me back into YouTube. And
I'm so glad you're back in.
It's fun.
Yeah,
I get to meet cool guys like
same,
you.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna meet Bill Reel and Radio Free Mormon soon, and
that's great.
But the idea that I came back as being somewhat combative, except this time against the religion itself.
Right.
And now I'm also finding the funner, the more enjoyable way is just like you and I are doing. Talk. Kind of have a discussion.
Yeah.
Not a real debate, argument. I'm here to prove you wrong.
Right.
You know your creeds are an abomination and that your church is apostate according to Mormonism.
Right.
But that isn't where the fun is in this, is it? The real joy, the real pleasure, the real education. Now, I'm still biased for learning. I'll always be the backyard professor. But the real fun of this is having discussions with people, not who think like we do, but who think differently than we do.
Much more interesting.
And it is, isn't it?
Well,
and we can absorb it and
absolutely.
say, you know what? That is a great way to put this.
Yeah, exactly. One of my things is like people say, how are you able to talk to all these people? Because 90% of the people I have on my show, you could say I disagree with. But I said, well, first of all, you
that low?
Yeah, I know. Maybe. I suspend disbelief. So when somebody, when Denver Snuffer comes on my program and says he saw Jesus, instead of saying you're full of shit, Denver, I'm much more interested. What did he look like? What did he say? What did he tell you? What was it like to be in his presence? I'm much more interested in hearing that story. Why? Because I wish Joseph Smith was asked those questions early on too, and documenting it for history. That to me is you're documenting history of a group that's coming forth, a new sect of Mormonism, if you will, that's growing, and they have their own scriptures. I want to have those are the conversations. I can be the atheist, say bah humbug, and then walk away. Well, that's you're walking away from a very interesting conversation.
That's true. It would be. I mean, one of the first things that pop into my mind with the snuffer, wouldn't it be fun if today's Mormon leaders would at least be that bold so that we could have that kind of conversation with them?
Yeah.
I think they've almost made it on the line of taboo rather than acceptance for discussing and trying to help build faith in something bigger than themselves. So, there's so many fine lines.
There's so many different angles you could take on this because I talk to everybody in the restoration. I talk to everybody.
You do.
So I just try to say, okay, I want you to come on my program, and I want you to tell your story to my audience. And the other thing is, if you watch my program, my guests do 80 to 90% of the talking because I don't make the show about me. I want it to be about my guests, right? And I want them to tell their story, and then I want my audience to give me feedback. What do you think? And so I hear from atheists, I hear from evangelicals, I hear from true blue Mormons and post-Mormons, and then, of course, I got a following in the LGBTQ community. I want to hear all those voices, all those perspectives. That's much more interesting to me.
Yeah, it really is. Who was it, Nietzsche, who said, if you really want to educate your kid, don't put your child with 13 other children that think like him. Put 13 different kinds of people, different cultures, beliefs, thought processes, ideas together, and then that kid will get educated.
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of what we're shooting for with this YouTubing.
I think so.
We live in a great age.
We sure do.
For YouTubing and sharing.
I would have never had this platform. Is so awesome, to be able to get this. I never was planning on doing this. It organically happened, and now my channel grew sixfold last year. Probably one of the fastest growing podcasts in Mormonism, man. So it's growing very fast. I'm hearing from people throughout the world. It's still not a full-time job, but it's the money that's coming in is building up, and I'm able to pay my trips here. I do have people that let me stay at their condos, which helps. But I'm upgrading equipment. But again, I'm getting more money from true blue Mormons than I am from evangelicals or ex-Mormons. So
Fascinating,
yeah, it's
isn't it?
really fascinating that people, they really I really resonate, and what the channel's doing resonates with them more importantly. And of course, what my guests are. The guests are also part of this whole cacophony of all these different voices that I want to be heard on the channel. Many who are marginalized, many who are not allowed, don't go on most programs because they have these self-appointed gatekeepers. So guess what, folks? I'm the end run around those gatekeepers, man. And so I'm getting people on that the Dan Petersons and the Interpreter Foundation and Fair Mormon, they don't want them to be given the platform, so I give those people a platform, man. That's how the way I see it.
Very interesting.
Yep.
I can't help but suspect, though, really, truly, I was just talking to my tech guy earlier this afternoon over lunch that, hey, I saw the $1 billion mall here in Salt Lake. I'm not kidding. It's incredible. It's gorgeous. I know they fudged about where they got the money, but wow, if you get a chance, go to that
It's a beautiful mall. I recommend it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were eating lunch and we were talking about the idea of the hardcore diehard who doesn't want to have the discussion. And I'm not trying to pick on them, but the church leaders, I think psychologically, I think philosophically, they're beginning to recognize that we have a change that's going to happen, because rather than trying to just convert, we need to have a respect and a respectful discussion and recognize that differences do not equate to evil.
Amen to that, brother.
I couldn't have sat with Steve as an apologist like this, enjoying this conversation. I don't even know if I could have sat with you as an atheist either. Isn't that interesting? That's fascinating.
Well,
how that
we're at
works.
different phases in your life. Sometimes you want to engage, and other times you're not. And that's the thing, though. That's a sign that you're being healed. That's the healing process.
My wife says that.
Yeah, that's the healing process you're going through, is that you're no longer triggered by the things that used to trigger you. It means you didn't eliminate those things that triggered you. Those things no longer trigger you because they have no power or hold over you. That means that you're going through that healing journey, that the things that used to really keep you awake at night, the things that really pissed you off and got you angry, you know what?
All night.
Yeah. But now, if you can live in a state of peace, if you will, that surpasseth all understanding, that's what we all want to strive for. That's where I'm at now. It's awesome, dude.
Oh, I can tell. I can. You're comfortable with every one of your guests.
Yes.
I mean, you're inspiring all the rest of us to say, look at Pynakker.
Pynakker.
I got it right. Yeah, baby. Look how comfortable he is. Look how enjoyable his discussions are. That's what I would much rather have than a debate over who's correct about the meaning of Mark 12:9.
Right, exactly.
Who gives a flying flip about who's correct?
Right.
The real fun stuff is, what does Mark 12:9 mean for the broader community of humanity? Is there a potential to discover that? And don't ask me why I picked Mark 12:9. Just, it doesn't mean anything to me at this point. I'm studying James Tabor's Bible course on Mark right now.
Interesting.
And I'll send you the link so that you can get it.
Yeah.
He's really interesting on this, so I've got Mark.
So you're a seeker. You're a seeker. You're somebody who wants to learn things.
I like
and
that.
you've broken out of that box those boxes that maybe have been put over us or self-imposed. Break out of those boxes, folks, and you're going to find this wonderful, beautiful world in which you can have a gay evangelical from Florida, right, who was an atheist for 12 years, and sitting down with Carrie Church, who at one time was a Mormon apologist, who was an angry atheist for a while, who now thinks, hey, there's more to it than just making arguments and polemics. It's also about relationship and friendship. And being part of the human community, man.
Well put. If we can do this,
exactly,
then everybody can, and that is what we would hope for. We've seen America go from great again down to divided.
Yes.
Look, we're all in this together. Let's just. How you doing? High five! High five! We're meeting all kinds of friends here at Broovies.
That's right.
So instead of getting this, I'm correct because I'm a Democrat and you're not.
Right.
I'm a libertarian.
Same here.
I am the important one, not you.
I'm a libertarian Christian. That's what I call myself.
There you go. Forget all that noise. Who cares about the label?
That's right.
We're all together as humans. That's
Yep.
So we're going to have fun tonight. I just wanted to get Steve on the camera real quick
awesome.
for a few minutes with me. Let you know him and I are going to be doing some
Collaborations. Yep.
He has some wonderful ideas that he's been sharing with me. I've got some ideas that I'm going to share with him. Keep your eye on my channel and his. We're going to be putting two and two together. So there you have it. Thanks
right.
for watching the Backyard Professor videos.
You're the best, Belong. You're the bomb.
The best. Let's see, we do it this way. Ooh.
There we go. Hey, I finally got you hit in the head. Like that beer can finally hit you in the head.
Self-imposed. I tried that trick where I had to smash the beer can. It
didn't work.
No. Left a big circle on my forehead.
Explains a lot, actually, when you think about it.
Ouch, but true.
All right.
Hey, we will see you next time, you guys. We're going to go have some fun watching Elder Pingree.
All right.